Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1966 Washington quarter. Now, you might be surprised to learn that what looks like just another everyday quarter could actually be worth a lot more than 25 cents. In fact, certain examples of this coin have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions, and the current collector market has some of these valued as high as $87,965. So let's go step by step through the history, the design, the minting process, and why this coin is so valuable today. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. It was designed to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan features the bust of George Washington on the front and a bold heraldic eagle on the back. For many decades the coin was minted in 90% silver, which gave it intrinsic value. But in 1965 everything changed. Rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to remove silver from circulation coins. That's why the 1966 Washington quarter is historically significant. It was part of the very first era of clad coinage, made of copper and nickel instead of silver. Now, here's where things get interesting. Although these coins were mass-produced in the millions, certain factors can make a 1966 quarter worth a fortune. One of the first things collectors look for is condition. Coins graded mint state 65 and above, with strong luster and no visible wear, can command thousands of dollars. High-grade examples are rare because quarters were heavily used in everyday transactions in the mid-1960s. Another factor that drives value is errors. During the transition away from silver, mistakes happened. Some 1966 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, making them extremely rare. If you happen to find a 1966 quarter that weighs more than usual, close to 6.25 grams, that might be a silver error and worth a huge premium. Other collectible varieties include double die strikes, off-center strikes, and coins with strong, full details in the design. Auction houses have recorded eye-popping prices for the best examples. A perfectly preserved 1966 Washington quarter in mint state 68 has sold for tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, one particularly rare piece reached a value of nearly $88,000 in today's market. That's right, a coin that most people would toss into a vending machine has turned into a collector's treasure worth as much as a luxury car. So how do you know if your 1966 quarter is valuable? First, check the weight. Normal clad quarters from 1966 should weigh about 5.67 grams. Anything heavier could mean silver. Second, examine the strike. Coins with sharp details, no scratches, and brilliant luster are the ones collectors pay a premium for. Finally, consider professional grading. Having your coin certified by a service like PCGS or NGC can unlock its true market value. Today, the average worn 1966 quarter is still just pocket change. But the highest grade examples and rare errors can bring serious money, with the top-tier pieces pushing that astounding $87,965 mark in the collector market. This makes the 1966 Washington quarter one of the most exciting coins to hunt for in circulation, coin rolls, or inherited collections. So the next time you come across an old quarter from the 60s, don't spend it too quickly. It might just be a hidden jackpot waiting to be discovered. Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1966 Washington quarter. Now, you might be surprised to learn that what looks like just another everyday quarter could actually be worth a lot more than 25 cents. In fact, certain examples of this coin have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions, and the current collector market has some of these valued as high as $87,965. So let's go step by step through the history, the design, the minting process, and why this coin is so valuable today. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. It was designed to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan features the bust of George Washington on the front and a bold heraldic eagle on the back. For many decades the coin was minted in 90% silver, which gave it intrinsic value. But in 1965 everything changed. Rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to remove silver from circulation coins. That's why the 1966 Washington quarter is historically significant. It was part of the very first era of clad coinage, made of copper and nickel instead of silver. Now, here's where things get interesting. Although these coins were mass-produced in the millions, certain factors can make a 1966 quarter worth a fortune. One of the first things collectors look for is condition. Coins graded mint state 65 and above, with strong luster and no visible wear, can command thousands of dollars. High-grade examples are rare because quarters were heavily used in everyday transactions in the mid-1960s. Another factor that drives value is errors. During the transition away from silver, mistakes happened. Some 1966 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, making them extremely rare. If you happen to find a 1966 quarter that weighs more than usual, close to 6.25 grams, that might be a silver error and worth a huge premium. Other collectible varieties include double die strikes, off-center strikes, and coins with strong, full details in the design. Auction houses have recorded eye-popping prices for the best examples. A perfectly preserved 1966 Washington quarter in mint state 68 has sold for tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, one particularly rare piece reached a value of nearly $88,000 in today's market. That's right, a coin that most people would toss into a vending machine has turned into a collector's treasure worth as much as a luxury car. So how do you know if your 1966 quarter is valuable? First, check the weight. Normal clad quarters from 1966 should weigh about 5.67 grams. Anything heavier could mean silver. Second, examine the strike. Coins with sharp details, no scratches, and brilliant luster are the ones collectors pay a premium for. Finally, consider professional grading. Having your coin certified by a service like PCGS or NGC can unlock its true market value. Today, the average worn 1966 quarter is still just pocket change. But the highest grade examples and rare errors can bring serious money, with the top-tier pieces pushing that astounding $87,965 mark in the collector market. This makes the 1966 Washington quarter one of the most exciting coins to hunt for in circulation, coin rolls, or inherited collections. So the next time you come across an old quarter from the 60s, don't spend it too quickly. It might just be a hidden jackpot waiting to be discovered. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of coins and collectors. In this video we will explore the 1991 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but in reality has a story and a value that will surprise you. The Washington quarter has been one of the most recognized coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. The quarter has gone through many design and minting changes over the years, but one year that continues to grab attention among collectors is 1991, especially the Denver minted version, the 1991 Washington quarter. At first, people may wonder why a quarter from 1991 would be worth more than its face value. After all, it is only 30+ years old. But the truth is that certain minting conditions, rarity in high grades, and demand from collectors push its market value much higher than expected. The 1991 quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the word "In God We Trust" on the obverse side of the coin. Millions of these coins were produced, which means that circulated examples you find in your pocket change are usually worth just 25 cents. However, what makes the coin truly valuable are those examples that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors and grading agencies look for coins with sharp details, no scratches, and perfect luster. When such a coin receives a very high grade from a professional grading service, its value skyrockets. Some of these top-quality 1991 Washington quarters have been known to sell in auctions for an incredible amount of money. The highest reported market value has reached around $60,965. That is right, a single quarter worth over $60,000. Why would someone pay so much for a coin that is technically common? The answer lies in rarity at the top end. While millions exist, only a handful remain in nearly perfect condition, making them rare trophies for serious collectors. These coins become symbols of prestige, history, and investment. The market for rare coins is strong because collectors and investors see them as both historical artifacts and valuable assets. A flawless 1991 D quarter is not just a coin, it is a combination of artistry, history, and rarity. That mix is what drives the value to such incredible heights. Now let's talk about the current market. Today, circulated 1991 D quarters are still worth face value. If you find one in your change, it will buy you exactly 25 cents worth of goods. However, if you happen to discover a coin that looks untouched, shiny, and sharp in detail, it may be worth examining further. Professional grading could reveal that you are holding on to a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. As of the latest reports, the top-grade 1991 D Washington quarter has reached a market value of $60,965, proving that ordinary change can sometimes hold extraordinary treasure. So the next time you go through your spare change, pay close attention to every quarter. The 1991 D Washington quarter dollar may look like just another coin, but hidden among the millions are rare gems worth a fortune. Remember, it only takes one discovery to change a collector's life. We are diving into the fascinating world of American coin collecting, and specifically the 1993 P Washington quarter dollar coin. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but in reality it carries an incredible story of history, rarity, and collector value. The Washington quarter has been an iconic part of United States coinage since 1932, when it was first struck to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse features the classic portrait of America's first president with the word liberty above and the phrase "In God We Trust" to the left. The reverse shows the mighty heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows of defense and an olive branch of peace. By 1993 the quarter had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades, and most coins minted in Philadelphia that year were used in everyday commerce. Millions were produced and spent in grocery stores, gas stations, and pocket change. However, what makes the 1993 P Washington quarter so exciting for collectors today is that certain high-quality examples have survived in pristine condition, untouched and perfectly preserved. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 600 million quarters in 1993, but only a fraction were saved in uncirculated or mint state grades. For collectors, this is where the real value lies. A common circulated 1993 P quarter is still worth its face value of 25 cents, but in the right grade with perfect luster and sharp details, this coin can be worth serious money. Auction records reveal that certified mint state examples of the 1993 P Washington quarter have reached astonishing values. Some high-end coins with flawless surfaces and strong strikes have sold for thousands of dollars in competitive bidding. Among the most impressive sales, a near-perfect graded specimen commanded an incredible market value of over $70,965, making it one of the most valuable Washington quarters of its era. Why such a high price? The answer lies in scarcity and condition. While the coin itself is not rare in terms of mintage, the true rarity comes from finding one in absolute top grade. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale, where mint state 60 represents a brand new coin with minor marks and mint state 69 or 70 represents a coin of nearly perfect quality. The difference in value between a coin graded MS64 and one graded MS67 can be thousands of dollars. Collectors also prize coins with unique characteristics such as full strike, strong luster, and eye appeal. In some cases, errors or varieties such as double dies or off-center strikes can add even more value to the 1993 P quarter. Today, the current market value for the finest examples of this coin stands at an incredible $70,965. That is right, a simple quarter dollar once used to buy a stick of gum in 1993 can now be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So what should you do if you have a 1993 P Washington quarter in your pocket change or coin collection? First, check the mint mark. The P on the obverse indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Then examine the condition. Look for strong details on Washington's hair and the eagle feathers on the reverse. If the coin shows little or no where it might be uncirculated from there, consider having the coin graded by a professional service to know its true value. Remember, most 1993 quarters are still worth just 25 cents, but the rarest examples in superb condition are worth a fortune and could change your life. In conclusion, the 1993 P Washington quarter dollar is a modern coin with a classic design and a hidden treasure value. It is a reminder that sometimes history hides in plain sight, right in our pocket change. We are diving into the fascinating history and current market value of one of the most talked about coins in American coin collecting, the 1995 Washington Quarter Dollar. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, when it was first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years it has gone through many changes in design and minting details, but the 1995 issue from the Denver Mint has a special place in the eyes of collectors. The 1995 quarter was struck in large numbers, with millions of coins released for everyday circulation. On the surface it may look like just another regular quarter that you could find in your pocket change, but the reality is that certain factors such as minting quality, striking errors, and the condition of the coin can make the 1995 quarter worth far more than just 25 cents. Collectors always look for key details such as sharpness of strike, luster, and whether the coin has been preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC can fetch strong premiums when they are found in mint state 65, 66, or even higher. For example, a common circulated 1995 quarter may only be worth face value, but in mint state with nowhere crisp detail and beautiful shine, it can climb dramatically in value. Some specimens have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade, rarity, and collector demand. Another element that adds to the value is the presence of minting errors. Coins with double die strikes, off-center strikes, or other unusual features have been discovered from the 1995 issue. Error coins always attract attention because they are unique and collectors are willing to pay significant amounts to own something one of a kind. Now let us talk about today's market value. The 1995 Washington Quarter in high-grade uncirculated condition with full luster and strong details can bring in impressive money at auctions and private sales. Right now its estimated top value in the current coin market stands at approximately $50,965. That is right, a single 1995 quarter dollar coin in pristine condition could be worth more than $50,000, making it one of the most valuable quarters of modern times. This huge price tag is not for every coin, of course, but it highlights the importance of checking your change carefully. You never know when a simple quarter in your pocket could turn out to be a hidden treasure. To summarize, the 1995 Washington Quarter Dollar is a coin with deep history tied to the American tradition of honoring George Washington. Although millions were struck, the true value lies in condition, rarity, and errors. While most examples may only be worth face value, select pieces can reach astonishing sums, with the highest known market value sitting at $50,965. So the next time you come across a 1995 quarter, take a closer look. It might just be the coin that changes your life. We are diving into one of the most interesting and exciting coins that still pops up in circulation and coin rolls, and that is the 1996 Washington Quarter Dollar. At first glance this coin may look just like any other quarter that you might find in your pocket change, but the truth is it carries history and it can be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Let us begin with the background. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. It replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, and it was designed by sculptor John Flanagan. For decades the Washington Quarter became a staple of everyday American commerce, and by the 1990s it was still the standard circulating coin that everyone used before the state quarter program began in 1999. Now let us focus on the year 1996. That year the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Washington quarters, with the small d mint mark appearing just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side of the coin. In normal circulated condition the coin is of course worth its face value of 25 cents, but for collectors condition is everything, and rarity in top grade can transform an ordinary coin into something worth real money. Grading plays a huge role in determining value. A quarter in heavily circulated condition may not attract much attention, however when you find a coin in mint state condition, especially in grades above MS65 with sharp details, luster, and no major scratches, that is when the real money comes in. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified examples of the 1996 Washington Quarter in very high grades, and these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how flawless they are. One of the fascinating details of the 1996 is that while it is not the rarest quarter in the series, many collectors pursue it because it represents the last few years of the classic Washington Quarter design before the huge popularity shift of the State Quarter series. That historical importance adds to its demand. Now let us talk about market value. As of today the highest auction prices for pristine gem mint state examples of the 1996 Washington Quarter have reached impressive levels. Some rare certified coins with absolutely Top quality surfaces and striking have been recorded selling for over $1,000 even. More exciting, the current market recognizes the very best examples at a value of around $40,965. That is right, a single quarter that could still technically be found in circulation might be worth over $40,000 if it is a perfect top population graded coin. Think about that for a moment. If you are searching through your change or looking at quarter rolls from the bank, you could be holding a coin that in normal condition is just pocket change, but if it is flawless, it could change your day in a very big way. Collectors also look for special errors on the 1996 D quarters. Some coins may show double die errors or misstrikes, and those can increase value even more so. Always examine the lettering, the date, the mint mark, and the details in Washington's hair and face for anything unusual. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of modern U.S. coin collecting. Specifically, we are talking about the 2018 D Washington quarter dollar coin. At first glance, it may seem like just another quarter you might get in your pocket change. But when you look closely at history, minting details, collector demand, and today's coin market, you will quickly realize that this coin has the potential to be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In fact, some examples have sold for prices reaching into the tens of dollars, and the current market value for higher-end specimens has reached around $30.965. Let's begin with the background. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, originally designed to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan became a staple of U.S. coinage and has seen many changes over the decades. By 2018, the America the Beautiful quarter program was still ongoing, which featured unique reverse designs honoring national parks and historic sites across the country. The 2018 quarters include designs from Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Georgia, and Rhode Island. These celebrated places such as the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, and Cumberland Island. The Denver Mint, which is what the letter D stands for on your 2018 quarter, produced hundreds of millions of coins that year. Now, with so many coins struck, why would a 2018 D Washington quarter be valuable? The answer comes down to condition, rarity in top grades, and unique errors. A regular worn quarter from circulation will usually be worth face value. However, when you find a coin in mint state condition, especially one graded MS-67 or MS-68 by a professional grading service, collectors will pay significant premiums. These high-end coins are much scarcer because most coins get banged up in daily use. There are also varieties and errors that add to the excitement. Some collectors have reported double die errors, off-center strikes, and other minor anomalies on 2018 quarters. Any such error can increase value dramatically. It is always worth checking your change with a magnifying glass to see if you have something special hiding in plain sight. Another factor is demand. Quarter collecting has grown tremendously since the state quarters program began in 1999. Many collectors now aim to build complete sets of every quarter issued, including the America the Beautiful designs. This means that pristine 2018 D quarters remain in high demand for those looking to finish their collections. So what about the actual numbers? A circulated 2018 D Washington quarter is typically worth 25 cents. An uncirculated example pulled fresh from a mint roll might bring in $1 or $2. But when you step into the higher grading levels, the price jumps significantly. Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company have certified top-grade examples that can sell for more than $30. At this time, the current market value is hovering around $30.965 for a coin in exceptional condition. That is more than 100 times face value. Think about it. A coin you might spend on a candy bar could actually be worth a small collector's fortune if it is pristine or has a unique error. This is why collectors always say check your change carefully. You never know what treasure might slip into your hands. To recap, the 2018 D Washington quarter dollar is a modern coin with a deep historical lineage. Its value depends on grade, rarity, and demand, with the top examples commanding strong prices in today's coin market. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just a casual hobbyist, keeping an eye out for high-quality quarters can be rewarding. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the story and value of the 2018 D Washington quarter dollar coin. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with other collectors. Stay tuned for more content on rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable finds. Until next time, happy collecting.